All right. Hello, everyone. Welcome back to Crypto Warehouse. My name is Brogan, and today we are back for a morning stream. Okay, so to clear the air. All right. Obviously, you know my kind of operation and whatnot. If you're in the Telegram, obviously you know this. Obviously, well, I'm still saying it here in case you don't. Obviously, let's go to hospital and whatnot, and sort it out. And basically, he can't do much in terms of like streams and whatnot because obviously he needs to rest and needs to recover. So that'll be a while. Obviously not forever. It'll be for a while though. So while that is taking place, I'll be kind of manning the ship. I was coasting a bit. I'm manning it now. So the streams hopefully will be just as good. I'm here instead. Obviously for a while. So in terms of is Mike back? No, but the morning streams are okay, and normal streams. Okay, so we'll be doing as we will. But instead of the morning streams being Mike, it'll be me. So, but obviously it depends on what I cover on the morning streams. If I do end up covering charts, I won't be covering charts majoritively. However, today is decently chart heavy. But I will still be doing my afternoon streams as well. So yeah, we'll see how it goes. But obviously, welcome all to the stream. And yeah, I'm pretty excited. Obviously, I haven't done a morning stream in a while. I did do one a bit ago. But obviously I'm quite excited. So obviously I think I know the procedure, so don't worry. It's not gonna be any different, hopefully, than it normally is. So anyway, let's just get into it. Okay. Welcome to you all. I think obviously I think people will join as we go on to the stream because obviously it's quite early in the morning. All depending where you are, obviously. So I think we'll just get started. Have a look at some stages and the price. Obviously just look at the market as a whole. Go on to the X files and then so on and so forth. So current market situation. 98,606 for Bitcoin. Pretty good. Pretty good. Obviously, we had a CME gap, which we will get onto, later in the stream, which we have now filled. Obviously, I'm going to be talking about our trend, talking about what it looked like on the CME futures, and where I can see that going for Bitcoin. Obviously, we've moved crazy for Bitcoin. Obviously, I mean, again, this I don't think we should be surprised. This happens every single time. It's like, oh yeah, I think this and this, and then everyone's expectations just get completely seized and moved on from. When it comes to the bull run, so it's one of those things. But we'll be going through many. You know what? You'll see it on the chart. Actually, you'll see it on the sidebar, which I actually have introduced. So I try to keep it as true to normal as possible. So we do have the sidebar. I will be updating. So you can see on the sidebar. Obviously, we've got the Dixie, the dominance, which we'll talk about. The gap, CME gap, and then some other things as well, like articles. So anyway, yeah, 98,559 right now for Bitcoin, pretty good. About 7% up on the 7 day, still going up. Still strong. I mean, obviously, again, whether it be a arguable showing signs of slowing down or not is obviously up to the person. I will be covering more of that on a afternoon stream. But anyway. Ethereum 3,467. Again, very good. Nearly 3,500 area. Can't remember what I talked about. Obviously, again, the majority of things I talked about have been exceeded, as with most people's expectations. It's one of those things again. 254 for Solana as well. Pretty nice. I don't know. I can't remember the exact range I had for Solana. We're not covering Solana or anything like that today. Obviously, what? It is Monday. I normally do afternoon streams today, so we'll see how it goes. Obviously, I do need to set it up as well after the fact. So obviously, you might see me again in the afternoon. Close to 9 o'clock when I do my afternoon trading streams or chart streams. So we'll go more in depth there on Solana and Ethereum later on. But as I see it right now, main coins looking pretty good. We're already hitting expectations before we even end the year and go into the next year. So looking pretty good. It may mean then we'll either go up to the next ring upwards. Obviously with Bitcoin that means I think like 147k was for one of my lines. Can't remember the exact price. But obviously, in looking on the wider time frame, we had like 90k or 90,340, and then above we had 104, and we had another one at like 150 area, I think it was, around about there. So it might just be a scenario where we go up, we do what I think, or we might move how expected as we just gradually go up and down the rings basically. But it might just mean we've offsetted it by one. So instead of it being 104k being one of the top prices, it will now just be 140 whatever the hell, 148k. Obviously we'll see again. This isn't a trading stream. I'm not going into it. Yeah, looking pretty good in the market again. Not really. I don't know. I don't know if Mike looks at any losers and winners, but again, I mean, looking pretty good. Across the board, I'd say. Let's go on 7 days, more interesting. Popcat, yeah, some meme coins, but obviously we'll talk about some things here with altcoins, which obviously we are pumping, and we'll be looking at Bitcoin dominance mainly because that obviously we'll look at the Dixie to compare with how Bitcoin's valued versus obviously the dollar, which it's one of those things. Obviously dominance to actually show how it's going. Again, we can see it's I believe kind of in a trend upwards for the dominance. I believe Mike's been talking about it, so obviously I've replicated that. We'll be talking about that as well when we do get onto it. But anyway, I'm talking too long on the intro. I do want to move on now to the X-Files. Okay, so I have prepared some X-Files. If I get my notepad up, I've got 3. Okay, I've got a funny. I've got the animal one because obviously I know Mike likes to do his animals. His nature is amazing. Okay, so I will be keeping that theme. I've got one which is actually obviously about crypto, and another jokey one which is also about crypto. So let's just get into it, okay? So the first one we've got is this video. I thought this was quite applicable to crypto, okay? So as it plays, as the video plays, I'll explain why. So you can see obviously the monkey's kind of dragging us going along. This main part is the reason why. Now I feel this video spoke to me on a different level. Okay, I just felt this monkey was like Bitcoin. Okay. Bringing up the crypto market, just leading us along. Chimpanzees are 2 times stronger than the average human. Okay, I just thought this is Bitcoin. Okay, this is what it is. It comes ahead, it goes up, and it brings us along. Okay, and this obviously kind of does tie into what we're going to talk about in terms of altcoins, and in terms of looking at dominance and Bitcoin cooling off in that regard, to allow alts to pump. Again, we're going to be talking about that. We're going to talk about the applicability, whether it's now or whenever. But I thought that was pretty applicable to what we're doing today in relation to this chimpanzee who's super strong, what it seems. So anyway, let's go on to the next X-File. Okay, I know I'm someone who doesn't really stick to time frames that well. Okay, and that's just something which happens. Got to live with it. I would like to try and stick to in my time. It'd be 12 p.m. because obviously it goes in the morning a.m. So at 12 o'clock. Okay, I would like to try and aim towards actually doing the stream within an hour. I think it's an hour. Mine does. Obviously, we'll see how that goes. So this one is about altcoins. History is exactly repeating. So this is a cycle or like a mini kind of movement we've had. Obviously, not a mini movement. Again, it does span over a couple of years. But you can see they're pretty much identical. Okay, between 2020 and 2021. And then the pump in. This is obviously the crypto total market cap. So this is the value. Like assumed, I don't know what I'm saying. This is like the accumulated value basically. Obviously, as of the entire crypto is the crypto total market cap. Makes sense. So you can see it's got a previous cycle top which we have here. It's got a bottom which kind of build these 2 ranges we have from the bottom to the cycle top. Obviously, the next bounce on here as well, which obviously helped to build that. So obviously we had a fake out which we have here as well. And then we come back down towards the bottom and then we break out again. So what do we have in this current case? Same thing with the cycle top and the bottom. Obviously those are the parameters we have. They're not really anything special, but the main parts are the fake out and the breakout. Okay, so we've already had the fake out area of things, and we've already had that come back down towards the trend line, which going upwards from the bottom, and now we're showing signs to start to break out of this line. So the expectation is that we're gonna pump whatever like tenfold up towards this area. Obviously I'm not saying it's gonna be that area of 800 billion, but you can obviously see it does span pretty much the entirety, coming from about 15.5 billion all the way up towards nearly 400 billion up here. So a pretty nice multiplication. Obviously you've got diminishing returns. It'll take much. Obviously I know it's a distinct value. It's not exactly Bitcoin's value at 98k versus 10k. I know this is a direct value in, I assume, dollars. You can see on the top. I know this is a direct value of dollars of the crypto total market cap. However, I do think it's going to be, in terms of the multiplication, it is a lot different. But anyway, we're still going to have a tidy sum of as a whole for the market cap to bump up. And again, this does again tie into altcoins, because again, we're not just going to have solely Bitcoin be the dominant mover, which is going to double our or in this case, basically double. In theory, if you go to 500, obviously maybe 3x, up to wherever. again, it's not going to be a Bitcoin only thing. You know, it's not like the total market cap for crypto is going to, you know, only be orchestrated by Bitcoin and, you know, the purchasing of Bitcoin. Obviously, it's going to help, but this kind of talks about the entirety of crypto and it spans across many of the altcoins. So again, another idea that, you know, we're going to be pretty much pumping with the market right about now. Okay, so very good signs here. I like this. It's looking good. Let's bring up the last X file. Okay, this is a funny one. I thought it was funny. Okay, I had difficulty. I was like, oh, I really need to find something. Oh, there was two actually. I thought this one was funny. There was two. There was another one where there was a guy falling down and alts falling down, but this one's funnier. Because it's very, very true. Okay, obviously, you know, if you've been looking at the charts at any point, you know, during this you know, current period of time, you'll know this is very true. And again, you know, this to tie into, we do have 104k as our main area. Again, we did have CME gap from Friday, which we have nicely filled now. Whether this be us surpassing that after the fill or not is obviously a different scenario. But again, we were looking at that, as you can see on the sidebar. You know, not too long away. We do have one article before we do the charts, and then we move on back onto the articles. So we'll be looking at the CME gap in a short space of time, probably. Obviously, we have spent, you know what, 11 minutes ain't that bad, actually. 11 minutes ain't that bad. 11:11, obviously, if you're someone who is believing in superstitions, you'll know 11:11 is the afterlife trying to communicate with you, okay? So maybe someone, I don't know, this isn't a seance, okay? Let's stop talking about that. This is Bitcoin trying to hit 100k, okay? It's just not happening, but it's going to happen, you know? It's going to happen, you know? Let's move on, though. Let's move on, okay? Because, again, even though I'm happy. There we go. Make sure we're on the right topic. Okay, even though, you know, we are on time, it can swiftly move out of that. Or before we know it, it's going to be 11:50 and I'm on the third article. Okay, so let's just get onto it. I don't want to waste time. Okay, the screen's really bright. Okay, sure. But whatever. Let's go on to it. Still buying. Michael Saylor's hints follow pattern of major Bitcoin purchases at MicroStrategy. He's still buying, you know. Are we surprised? No. Okay. Let's look at the brief. See what we're getting into. Okay. Michael Saylor, co-founder of MicroStrategy, hinted at the company making additional Bitcoin purchases. This potential Bitcoin acquisition could be funded by the recent $3 billion the firm raised on November 22nd. MicroStrategy remains the largest public holder of Bitcoin with 331,200 Bitcoin and achieved a 41% yield. I mean, again, I don't think we're surprised. I think, you know, I mean, there's probably some people out there who think the current scenario we're in right now and some certain prices, oh, this is the top, you know, this is, you know, this is the highest price we're going to see for a while. I don't think so. Obviously, that's my personal opinion. Again, I'm not a super trader. Obviously, I'm not credited as a financial advisor or anything like that. But in my opinion, yeah, you know what I'm saying. But anyway, of short period of time, potentially. But in terms of long period, again, as we know, 2025 November time, that is when we're aiming to see, basically in the year, that's when we're aiming to see the highs. Okay, obviously we're gonna have different periods as we get to there. Obviously during May time. As we have different moves, because we can't just go in a straight line. Obviously, we can't just go in a straight line. But the top, in theory, you know, theoretically should be around that area at November 2025. And if we're already at nearly 104k now, which in person, my chart, okay, was one of my prices, short term anyway, then what are we going to see November 2025? So obviously no surprise with buying here, and also we've got America. As it obviously gets into power, buying Bitcoin as well. So even if Bitcoin was looking like the worst thing to buy, you know, right now, we already have pretty much direct large purchases coming up either right now as we see with MicroStrategy or in the future with American government. So again, it's kind of one of those things. It's a direct input into Bitcoin. You know, it's perfect. So it's not like all the Americans losing value, all the American dollars losing value, so Bitcoin's going up because of that relative comparison. This is direct input to Bitcoin, okay? But anyway, let's see. Let's actually read it a bit more info, okay? I'm not a fraud, all right? I do want to actually read the article. Okay, so MicroStrategy $3 billion raise could fuel new Bitcoin purchases. The Bitcoin bull mentioned that MicroStrategy's portfolio tracker, Saylor Tracker, needs more green dots. These markers symbolize the company's each Bitcoin acquisition, fueling speculation about another significant purchase. Right, okay, so he's saying he wants to buy more, basically. Okay, fine. And he sneezed really badly. I hope he doesn't blow the mic up. So his recent hints echo his previous two Sunday posts, which precede announcements of large-scale Bitcoin acquisitions. During this period, MicroStrategy added approximately 80,000 Bitcoin to its holdings, worth over $6 billion at the time. So you can see here's the chart, the Sailor Tracker, whatever it's called again. Yeah, Sailor Tracker. Obviously, the green dots is every single time they purchased Bitcoin, and then the blue line is the average market price for Bitcoin. So in this area, it's, apparently, according to him, looking like there needs to be more green dots. Okay, now they're pretty healthy when it comes to their green dots. Okay, you can see, especially back here in this area, lots of buys, MicroStrategy, but in his opinion, it's looking like he's not got a lot of buys in this area. In comparison to these areas, we've only got 3 or 4 dots. So, in theory, should be time for more purchasing from MicroStrategy. Again, it's gonna be pretty big. There's some things we're gonna read, especially with Shaky Train. Okay, that's gonna be about open interest. That's gonna be something interesting to talk about, because that's gonna be about how much money is currently in Bitcoin and what that could mean for Bitcoin, relative, not like super future, within now period of time. Again, I'm not saying that's going to change the world on Bitcoin, but it's going to obviously have an effect. But again, this is direct input to Bitcoin, which is always the best thing to be looking at. It's not like, oh, there's more longs, there's more shorts, there's this, that, the other. This is the direct input to Bitcoin. So this is going to be, this is like the pinnacle of things to look at when it comes to speculating on Bitcoin's price movement based on, input of someone else. Again, massive money into Bitcoin. That's what we want. What else do we have on the article? Okay, here we go. I mean, again, we don't really look at this. There's not really much to look at. I should probably say hello to everyone else in the chat. Oh yeah, actually, no, I can't say that. I'm mad. I need to read the chat there. That's what I need to do. Yeah, we don't care. This is just like some random text. No one cares. Let's move on now. To the first chart of the day. Okay. Now, if you're someone who watches my charts, you're like, oh, here we go. It's going into charts. Come on. Here we go. It's going to be 12:30. We haven't looked at any charts, or we haven't looked at any articles. I mean, it's not going to be like that. Don't worry. I'm going to be strict on my analysis here. Okay. I'm going to be strict. Okay. I'm going to be looking at this and solely this. I'm not going to spend ages on the charts. Don't worry. I am fully aware of how long I spend on charts. And I always say on my streams, oh yeah, I'm going to spend, 30 minutes on Bitcoin, Ethereum, Solana, and then 30 minutes or 40 minutes on Bitcoin, Ethereum, Solana, and then 20 minutes on different coins you guys suggest. And then what ends up happening is I spend like 45 minutes on Bitcoin, or even worse, sometimes 50 minutes on Bitcoin, and I spend 5 minutes on Ethereum and Solana. I know, okay. But I'm going to be quick with this, I'm not going to spend too much time, all right? Now, I haven't drawn a lot. Actually, no, that's a lie. I do have some stuff, okay? It does get a bit hairy in this area, okay, but don't worry, okay, don't worry. It might like, oh, what are you doing? He's ruining dominance, okay? You're just supposed to look at trend lines. Why the hell's he got blue lines here, there, and everywhere, and green areas? Don't worry, okay. I thought I would put my spin on the Bitcoin dominance, because I don't really look at the Bitcoin dominance on my charts, okay? I look at Bitcoin and that's pretty much it, and then Ethereum, Solana, and then yeah, I'm very basic when it comes to that. But I thought I would bring, my spin on things, because I'm not just trying to copy Mike, even though I do have his layout currently, obviously with, X files and this and the other, okay? But when it comes to charts, I feel like it's my duty to give my not professional opinion using my not professional chart patterns and chart, methods, I suppose. So these are the areas, these are the percentile areas drawn. Again, it's not, I don't have prices, like I can't use power 3 on percentages because it goes from 0 to 100. So I just had to kind of, theorize based on 0 to 100 and then, draw it in between the equilibriums. But anyway, let's just get into it. I'm not yapping. So we've got this green area and red area. What does these mean? Probably like, what the hell's he doing? What the hell? What could this mean? Well, if we hide everything and just look at the areas, what does it look like? Okay, what does this look like to you personally? Now, what it looks like to me, not as a personal, because I drew this, I know what it's supposed to look like, okay, because I drew it. But what it looks like, because it is equilibriums, okay? This green area is the higher range equilibrium, okay? So this is basically the 50 mark. I'm not gonna put anything fancy on it, okay? This is the 50 mark, basically, this area, Well, to be fair, it's not exactly, because it does span to 41%. So basically, it's a padded midline for the percentage. But as you can see, you know, regardless of it being basic information or not, or like, oh, what's he talking about this? You know, it's like, it's one of those things, you know, it's a support area, if you will, on the Bitcoin dominance. Okay, and then the high area is the resistance, which is a higher range resistance. And again, I'm not going to beat around the bush here. It is basically 75%. Okay, I'm not going to beat around the bush, but you know, you can't deny there's a slight bounce there, comes up, bounce here, comes down, you know, double top thing going on here, and now we're coming back up towards it. So, you know, I can't beat around the bush and say, oh, look, I'm such a genius, guys. You know, I'm so smart. I've drawn these equilibriums. It's just 75% and 50%. I'm not gonna lie, but I just want to point that out there. Okay, we're in this range, you know, in this trend upwards, coming towards this area. So the rough area of the top, and again, I know we can come up towards this 100%. Well, we can't. Okay, we can't. But this is basically the high and the low. Okay, because, you know, Bitcoin dominance is not exactly like a chart. You know, it's not a price of something. It's not a valuation of a coin. This is a collection between Bitcoin and the rest of the market. So this has many different factors which affect it. You know, whether it be, you know, other coins in the market garnering popularity, other coins in general in the market with slight popularity which accumulate versus Bitcoin. Bitcoin not doing anything, or Bitcoin going down, or on the flip side, Bitcoin going up and other things in the market going down, etc. There's a lot of spinning plates when it comes to Bitcoin dominance. But again, my job is to put a square peg in a round hole. Okay, I have to put my charts on anything. Okay, I don't care what it is. It could be dominance. It could be, you know, lunar cycles. You know, I could chart lunar cycles, even though it happens every 2 weeks, whatever it is, or every, you know, month. That's 27 days or 28 days, isn't it? I don't care. Okay, because my job here is to put the charts. Is to do the charts. Okay. So anyway, this basically, in my theory, is 75%, and this 50% is basically the top and the bottom of the Bitcoin dominance. Because are we realistically going to be going up towards 100%? No, are we? Unless every single thing, you know, unless Ethereum, Solana, and every other coin preceding it, preceding, or if you consider it from top to bottom, preceding it, they all just blew up and never existed tomorrow, then yes, okay, Bitcoin could probably go to 100%. It's never gonna happen. All right. So I just wanted to chart out the tops and the bottoms of the relative tops and bottoms of where Bitcoin can go via its dominance. But anyway, I'm yapping. Again, I said I wouldn't yap, but I am. Okay. Let's go on daily. So this is Bitcoin dominance on the daily. This is the pattern, which I believe quite a few people have been looking at. Mike has been looking at, especially. Actually, there's a cheeky. Why am I? I'm trying to put all blocks on dominance. I don't know what I'm doing. Anyway, it doesn't matter. I'm not gonna do that. I'm just looking at the trend line here. I'm not supposed to spend too much time on this. So basically, we have this kind of pattern going on. You know, try to get the lines of best fit. Okay, so we've got this little pattern, you know, thingy thing going on here. We go to the tops, go to the bottoms, go to the tops again. So let's try and add this to the charts. Because again, I've got 3 charts to look at, and they're not relatively long. You know, the CME gap. All I'm gonna do is go, oh guys, here's where the CME gap was. Oh, we filled it. What could this mean? And that's it. So I'm not gonna spend too much time. So let's do that for this, okay? So I've now prompted what we have, okay? We have this you know, pattern, this range, okay? We have this range going upwards. What could this mean? Let's move on to the second part of the 2-part, you know, story we have. What could this mean? Well, what does it mean when the Bitcoin dominance go down? It means more money, comparatively, to Bitcoin is being put in other coins elsewhere than Bitcoin, okay? So it could mean Bitcoin. I mean, no, it can only mean, it can mean Bitcoin, the value of Bitcoin going out, and there's not necessarily a direct input into altcoins, because technically, you know, if there's less Bitcoin valuation and not, you know, it doesn't matter. Okay, it doesn't matter. What it's in theory supposed to show is the comparison between every other coin and Bitcoin in terms of how much is, you know, bought, how much of the total valuation is in Bitcoin versus the rest of the market. In theory, it was supposed to show if the dominance is going down, it means altcoins and other coins are, in theory, holding more value of the entire market as a whole, if you know what I mean. So we can see we've had this moving downwards, and if we follow with the trend, what can we see? Whenever we touch these areas of the top or the bottom, we in theory reflect and go upwards, either towards midpoints or towards the top or towards any other value in this area. But the in theory is we do go up and we bounce. In theory, and now we can apply that to what we have here. It then means Bitcoin dominance is going to go up. which then means the valuation of the total market for crypto is more held in Bitcoin rather than altcoins. If you catch my drift. Okay, so it means more money is being put in Bitcoin. What does that mean then? What does that mean for Bitcoin? Price can go up. Obviously, we got diminishing returns. We are very high. It's going to take a lot more for this, that, the other. But as a direct input, more money is being put into Bitcoin. Or money in theory is going to be put into Bitcoin. And obviously, we can see that with what MicroStrategy is going to try and do. We can see that with what Bitcoin's going to be doing or America's doing with Bitcoin. Again, that's a bit far off. This is the daily, so it's a bit far off. But obviously, MicroStrategy is saying relatively soon we want to buy more Bitcoin. So already we can see that kind of ideology play into effect as we see with this trend we have with Bitcoin dominance. In theory, we should be going up again, which means more money is going to be put into Bitcoin. So that was supposed to be quick. I did spend quite a lot of time on that. I did look at something which didn't really matter. So I want to look at this. Okay. Again, keeping it simple here. Hold on. I've just got. Oh, I was supposed to look at chat, wasn't I? Okay, I apologize. I'm going to pause this. We'll look at chat from top to bottom, okay? Because I haven't done that yet. Hidden Genders, hello to you. Shout out to you. Kishan also shout out to you. The only reason it reminded me of Kishan was because it was the first message on the stream. And I know it was a bit messed up because we had the stream planned for like the 20th and the 19th or the 21st, whatever it was. And obviously, you know, we had to go to, you know, the hospital and whatnot. So I didn't get a chance to set up the streams for obviously today and the future. So it probably wasn't notified for the stream. But anyway, whatever. Shout out to you. Obviously, Tariq, shout out to you. Obviously, that's in the chat. Mike isn't here just yet. And if you're just joining, you don't know it. Mike isn't here just yet. That's why it's me. He needs to rest for a couple of weeks, you know, 3 or 4 weeks, whatever it's going to be. So for the time being, I'm going to be manning the guns as whatever. So yeah. Anyway, KB, good morning to you as well. Shout out to you. In the know, morning to you as well. Kishan, good morning, Crypto Warehouse family. Good morning to you, Kishan. Always the goat. Danny's here as well. Let me scroll on a bit. What do you think of $1 billion cat? You know what I'll do? If you're able to join at 9 PM, UTC +1. Actually, no, +1. I'll look at it on the stream. Because again, this isn't, I'm trying to keep it strict, okay? This isn't a stream for charts, even though I'm looking at charts. This isn't a stream for charts. This is a stream for the morning news and things relative to that in crypto, okay? I will look at $1 billion cat later on. And if I don't do a stream later on because I've got things to do, this, that, the other, and I've already done a stream, then I'll post it in the Telegram. That's what I'll do for you. Anyway, let's now actually move on to what we're supposed to look at, okay? So on the daily, I'm going to look at this on like the 4 hour probably because, again, it does look a bit, you know, it needs to be a bit closer in. So Dixie, obviously this is the, okay, I just try to compare it to Bitcoin. It's not. It's the dollar versus a collection of other coins, okay? Oh, not other coins, sorry, other currencies. So it's the valuation, basically the strength, you know, it's the strength of the dollar, if you will, against other coins, of currencies. Sorry, I never look at a Dixie. I never look at anything outside of crypto. So I always think of coins. So what do we have? Again, bare bones. I'm trying to keep this simple. I don't want to spend too much time. You know, I always spend too much time. In theory, I mean, look at the sidebar though. We're basically, you know, in the middle of it, and it's 11:30, so we're good on time, I think. Anyway, so we have this area. What is this area? This is what I saw. Again, I don't have my ranges. I don't have order blocks. I don't have anything. Okay, this was just basically a scientific line of best fit. Whether this be some magical order block or some magical resistance area, or it's some magical value, which is so magical and so interesting, I don't know. Okay. All I know is that I liked the look of it. Basically. I liked how it looked. Oh, wow, a nice bounce there. Oh, wow, a really nice bounce there. Really nice bounce, really nice bounce. Surpass. Oh, cool, awesome. What do we see on the daily then? Obviously, these 2 bounces. 3rd bounce, trying to get out. Didn't do it. 2 more bounces. Beautiful. Then what do we have here? Okay, this is interesting. What do we have here? We surpassed it and now we've bounced. But the important part is we've come up and above it. Obviously above here as well. In this scenario, I'm trying to compare. The only other time we broke out and then obviously came down was this area. So let's compare areas between here and here. Obviously, or where we are now and previously. So in this area, yeah, okay, we did have surpass. We did have a bounce. We had a higher thing. But then this was obviously, this isn't very good. We didn't just do this, you know, we didn't just do another low, you know, on the outside. Okay, we didn't come upwards. Okay, we just kind of did that. This was our high, the highest high we saw, and then we did this, and this is bad. Okay, we then had 2 lows here. This was bad, showing signs. We had 1 more relief, and then we obviously came down. Obviously, you know, if you were just to see this, in my opinion, I'd say it's going to come down because or break below because this isn't. that's obviously in theory it's like a bull flag, but when you're looking at it on a support resistance level, it's again, it's not very good. But in this case, it's very different. Okay, it's very fast, very different. We've had a nice bounce, a 2-candle print down here. We've already had a higher high above this high. Okay, and now we're having this low, and in theory with this trend we should have this low be this low and then high up towards this line up here. Okay, so in terms of the difference between previous and now, this is showing more strength. Okay, this is showing more oomph to me. But anyway, let's go on to 4 hour. Okay, it's hovering a bit. Let me put this a bit better. There we go, perfect. Shimmy this a bit, maybe. Try and get line of best fit, basically. Okay, cool. So we got this. I drew this last night, but it still holds its value, I suppose. With this. So in theory, if it goes through this trend, it's either going to be hitting a midpoint or it's going to be hitting an upwards, an oomph upwards. Okay. So actually, what I want to do, I want to look at the ideas. It's just basically talking about dollar fall, which it has obviously fallen, which obviously in theory makes sense. Obviously, you can see how great this was in terms of on the 4 hour. You can see how great the surpass was. We just completely held it, especially on the midpoint as well. Like we just completely held it, and then we flipped it, found support, and then continued upwards. So in theory, okay, in theory, I know Dixie's very political. All right, I'm just a simple person. Okay, politics, just leave me alone. All right, okay, I'm surface level. Just let me look at the charts. Okay, and that's what I'm going to do. Okay, so if anyone's got any, any source. Oh, Trump's going to do this thing with America, and then looking at Asia, he's planning to do this in February. Cool. All right, this is the daily. Who cares? So in theory, it's going to go up. So if this follows through, and again, like I said, it could just come to this area. It could come to the midline at 107.69. And again, I don't know how much oomph this has on the dollar, coming between 106, basically 107, towards 108.5. Okay. When it comes to currencies. I assume this is a big oomph for a currency. I'm not saying it's going to change the world, but let's apply this now. We've looked at what we have in the scenario. Let's look at what we have when it comes to Bitcoin, because that's all that really matters when it comes to crypto. Okay, what can this mean? Well, if let's lay it out. Okay, if dollar go up and hold more value and is stronger, what do mean for Bitcoin? This mean Bitcoin value weaker against dollar. Am I right? I think there you go. I think I've laid it out. Okay, let's humanize that language. Okay, so obviously if the dollar's going up in value, what does that mean for Bitcoin? Well, let's say and again, 2 spinning plates here. What you got one? Okay, Bitcoin versus dollar. Again, Dixie, it's in the background. 1 spinning plate. Bitcoin as a whole, 1 spinning plate. But now we're trying to look at politics and the dollar changing versus Bitcoin. Now we've got 2 spinning plates here. Now we've got to know what Bitcoin's doing and what the dollar's doing. But again, I've spent my entire life looking at Bitcoin. I've spent my entire chart life looking at Bitcoin and not looking at Dixie, and I've had a happy life. Okay, so whether this be me looking at the Dixie and it doesn't matter, fine by me. But anyway, let's in theory 2 spinning plates here. So now we need to think about what the dollar's doing and what Bitcoin's doing. Okay, so what does this mean? So if dollars go up, dollar go up versus everything else, the value is stronger. It means it's got more. Obviously, there's purchasing power parity versus the dollar and whatever it's going to go better to. Again, Dixie's a bag of different currencies. So there's more strength. Okay, there's more power in the dollar. Which means for Bitcoin, if it didn't change, which I know it is going to change, and again, we're going to have more money being put into Bitcoin, which means its value can go up, which means relative to the dollar going up, you know what I'm saying? But anyway, in an isolated bubble, if Bitcoin doesn't change and then dollar goes up, in theory, the Bitcoin will be, the dollar amount will lessen based on the fact that its power is larger, therefore you can buy more Bitcoin versus dollar. But again, I'm spending too much time on this chart. I think we should move on. Okay, that's basically what is supposed to be happening. But again, I'm on the 4 hour. It's moving up 1.5 points. Pennies. I don't even know what it is. God, I'm an amateur, guys. I'm an amateur. Anyway, it's gonna go up in theory. Okay, it's gonna go up. What does that mean for Bitcoin? In theory, the dollar's getting stronger, which means Bitcoin relatively is going to get weaker, or not weaker, but the dollar can buy more Bitcoin than used to. But again, like I said, is this really going to matter? We're in the bull run. Is this really going to matter? No. Okay. So let's just move on. Is it Bitcoin? Is it Bitcoin 1? I think it's just that, right? Yeah, perfect. Sorry. All right, so let's see. Okay. See me gap. All right. Let's have a look. So it closed. Let's actually go on the 30 minutes. We can see more detail. So I haven't moved the sub-bar. I haven't moved the sub-bar twice. I'm sorry. I apologize. Look at that. We're flying through this. You know what? I might have to take my time with these articles, actually. I've got 20 minutes. Okay, I might be able to do it. Okay, so see me gap. What do we have? Okay, I just wanted to draw some ranges. The ranges don't matter, whatever. I just thought I'd draw them. Okay, so our gap is in between 99,155 and 98,670. Okay, so we've got this range here. Obviously closing from Friday, opening on Monday, and then so on and so forth. So let me just look at this quickly. Is it, what time is this? UC plus what? Oh, I drew. Oh no, I'm stupid. I drew this one. I looked at the charts like at midnight my time, which was when basically the markets opened, and I forgot I drew this line. I drew it in the morning. I was wondering how the hell I drew this line. Whatever. Obviously we've got these trend lines. Doesn't matter. Whatever. I'm yapping. Got the range for the see me gap. Whatever. We've come to fill it. So in theory it's like okay. What is the gap? Is it a support resistance thing? Well, in theory it's above us, and obviously if you know what if you know where outstanding money is. Because, again, it doesn't necessarily look like a fair value gap. But these are outstanding still. This is an area we haven't visited. And normally they come to visit it on Bitcoin. Again, CME gaps is a big thing. Okay, so when it's above us on the price, in theory, it's like you come to it and then move on. So we have it here, okay? We've done the bounce. We've come up basically to a midpoint, and now we're coming down again. So in theory, based on this, and again, this is based on. Actually, no. You know what? I'm not going to talk about this. This is CME. This doesn't matter because this is just Bitcoin's price. Ignore me. We've already done what I can't really look at anything. We've already done what we've done. Okay, we've already filled the gap. There's no point looking at it. Actually, the gap's more here, isn't it? Actually, yeah. We've already looked at the gap. You know what? I'm moving on. Actually, there's nothing to talk about here. Here's the gap. We filled it. We're moving on now. Who cares? Let's move on. Whatever. We're back to articles now. Whoopee doo. Okay. So if someone hates charts, this is your lucky 20 minutes because I've got the article now. So the first article I thought was very interesting. Actually, I thought it was really, really cool, really interesting. Actually, I didn't know what to name it. Okay, because obviously sidebar, it looks really ugly if you've got more than like a couple characters. Okay, because the padding it breaks. And then it goes all fat, whatever. So I'm gonna sound out the title, okay? Because you're looking at the title, green box chain for Prezi. What the hell does that mean? Okay. So I couldn't find an emoji for a block. So what? So I did a square. Okay. So it's supposed to be blockchain for president. Okay. Now let me just. You know what? No. I was gonna show you guys what it looked like without it, but again, you know what? It doesn't really matter. Okay. So blockchain for president. So this is, Romania is using blockchain to count presidential electoral votes today. Obviously, this was yesterday, it's 25th, today is 24th. But again, Romania is using blockchain to count presidential electoral votes today. Isn't that pretty cool? Come on, that's pretty cool. So, let's go down a bit. Okay, so the Permanent Electoral Authority in Romania is using blockchain technology to count and validate presidential electoral votes on November 24th. That's pretty cool. Okay, that's pretty cool. And this is neat. I mean, this is great. This is, again, what is big? What is the essence of blockchain? What is the essence of crypto? Okay, and the idea of being able to see everything which happens. Well, if you're able to, if every single thing, you know, whether it be transactions, whatever, big or small, is being recorded, obviously on a decentralized, basically decentralized playbook. Okay, play by play, everything's being recorded on many different validators. Again, I'm not going to go into how blockchain works, but if everything's being recorded and validated between, let's say there's 40 different validators. Again, there's depending on what they're doing, there's tons of different validators out there on whatever blockchain they're doing. But let's just say there's 40 different computers, basically 4 different computers out there. every single computer is talking to each other saying, is this correct? Yeah, I've got the same information. As long as, more than, obviously, obviously you don't want to do half, but, for security. As long as the majority percentage is correct, you've just basically got 40 computers decentralized across the world, all confirming the exact same data. So when you go to these positions and you go, okay, is this vote true? Is this vote valid? You then have a reference of many different devices across the world on different networks and different devices in different regions, in different scenarios, in different time zones, all saying the same thing. It's hard to fake. And again, this is what it comes down to. Unless you've got complete control of that blockchain, or in certain cases on outdated, less secure chains, more than half control on the blockchain, or more than half. It depends on what you do, proof of stake, proof of earn, whatever, or proof of work. If you've got, an actual valid, blockchain which isn't, susceptible to these sorts of attacks, you basically then got numerous devices across the world all confirming the exact same thing. So for this to then be applied to a vote, which we know historically, especially in America, is something which is, what seems like very lately, a very outdated and very, very, sketchy, not sketchy, but a very dodgy area when it comes to completely confirming. Because again, this happened last year, last time with Biden and those votes. I saw videos of this vote actually, where there was electoral vote boxes falling out of vans from different states. I only saw one. It probably didn't make that much difference, but it's so amateurish. And again, I know it comes down to, my point I'm making is using crypto solves both issues of what America has. Because when you go to system, you go to their systems, their electronic voting, I think they call it. You go to the machine, and the Simpsons made a joke about this, and I even saw videos of one of the laggy machines in, I don't know what state it was in America, and it's typical. They click Trump and then Kamala. Kamala's at the top, Kamala up it. Again, I'm not getting into my politics because this is a morning stream. Okay, let's keep it civil. But again, I think the majority of you guys are gonna, whatever. But I saw the machines. You clicked the button and it broke. Okay, it went to Kamala. Again, obviously it did eventually go to Trump because again, it would be illegal if it didn't work. But so there's that issue. There's that whole sphere. So I understand that electronic votes and that whole system can just be easily finessed. Okay. And I know, it depends what state you're in, because some states don't need voter ID or even photo ID. Voter ID and photo. I know it sounds very, very, very close. Voter and photo. Okay. You don't need ID. Some states, again, I'm not saying it's all states, and it's not going to make that much difference in regard, when it comes to the majority, of America. I'm talking about America. I know America is different, but we're getting to a point where it's like, okay, you can come to here, you can come to this state, you can vote electronically, and you don't need any ID. So we can all collectively get on a plane to America. In theory, if there was a vote, we can all collectively get on a plane to America, go to one of these states where you don't need any ID. Again, this might not be very nuanced, my statement. I'm not very 100% sure, but in the certain states where you don't need identification, you could just go over and vote. Is that really what you want to do? So, to bring it back, to tie it all back in, I know I haven't read the article. Okay, there's more I want to talk about because there's screenshots. But to bring it back to my analysis of this idea, because again, we don't really need to know much more information, which we are going to read on though. But the idea is they've used crypto, they've used historical transactions to make sure that these votes are true. That's the basic premise. So this solves both problems of, okay, well, you've got the accessibility of voting, electronically. It's a lot easier to count. It's a lot easier to travel with, or to count and send across to the higher ups, whatever. But it also solves the issue, which was the main issue, which was with electoral votes, which was the fact that it's a lot easier when it comes to faking stuff. So I bet if they continue with this system they have, if it does work, foolproof, I suppose, they could probably get people to vote at home, which would be so much easier. And again, I know that you can go out, and I know, but again, when it comes to I'm more thinking about America when obviously we're talking about Romania here, but obviously America's a very big place. Some people might be in the outside of nowhere, okay, and very hard to get to somewhere which has voting systems, whatever. this makes it a lot more accessible, I believe, if they have a foolproof system. Which again, crypto, you can't really finesse it. Because obviously, if you could finesse crypto and obviously make a transaction which was bigger than you had, we wouldn't be talking right now, because crypto wouldn't be existing. Because again, it's some stupid system which doesn't work. But for the sole fact that we're talking right now means that crypto works in that regard. So I believe they could probably move voting to something you can do in your house. You can just go on an app, press a button, press the whatever, president, this, that, the other, or mayor. I don't know. I assume it's president, right? Yeah, president, like sort of right. President, this, that, the other. Votes. That's it. That easy. Again, I'm a yapper. Let's move on. So, people from all over the world can follow the transactions in a public ledger, live in a dashboard at Rope's official website. So you can see this is probably, I assume this is the dashboard. Yeah, voting.rope.ro presidential 2024 11/24 dashboard. So these are all the transactions. It's a bit laggy, but that's fair. Well, this isn't every single transaction, because obviously it's got ID 140, 260. This is only showing 20, which is obviously fine. So we have 20 right now. Here's another one which came in. Transactions free. So we can see. How do I see more information? Here we go. So this is a JSON object of a bunch of information. Some more stuff. Again, I'm trying to read. I'm trying to understand the processing of this data. Oops. Is this maybe this is a PDF of their ID? I don't know. I'm not sure. Map. Are they geographically mapped out? Oh, this is a live view of votes. Oh no, I don't know. I don't know. Referendum. Let's go. Okay, this is the best one. Transactions. Here we go. It's another one. So this is live right now. So yeah, information structure to documents. So this is the documental structure. Basically, this is the list of, who's voted. Who is this person who voted? Continue. Again, this is in Romanian. I don't know exactly what the language is, but I believe it's Romanian. So this is obviously their thing. So obviously you've got hash wall now. I assume these are something. I assume maybe these are IDs for voting. Maybe there's some sort of identification for who's voting, maybe. Or COD camp, maybe the place which is being voted for. I don't know. Okay, I'm theorizing here, because again, I didn't make this system. Tip generates A3. I think maybe this is a location or something. I'm not too sure. This is probably some document of like an identification or something. I'm not too sure. Again, like I said, I didn't want to do that. But again, the idea is they are using this technology. Okay, again, I don't believe there's some sort of I don't believe Ethereum's being used to transact the votes. Again, I don't know. Again, I assume the article. You know what? Let's read on. So, as of this writing, 83,859 blocks contain cryptographically verified votes have already been added to the blockchain. Very cool. Romanian Special Telecommunication Services also signs the website together with the Electoral Authority. According to an STS announcement, the system uses the European blockchain services infrastructure composed of nodes located in 27 European countries. So yeah, this is what I'm about to say. So, not is it a system where it's using crypto, because again, there's a thing that on the blockchain, on crypto, this the reason I'm making this point, because some of you guys watching may think, okay, blockchain, that's Bitcoin, this, that, the other, but there's a bit of a distinction here. So crypto, obviously we know cryptocurrency is obviously shorthand for crypto. Again, crypto be cryptographic. It's a systems or like a cryptographically signed, like a crypto is in hashing. Okay, I'm thinking about something different. I'm trying to say there's different shorthands for crypto. Obviously, in this case, we're talking about cryptocurrency. So cryptocurrency, okay, we know that's monetarily verified crypto. But what is crypto? That's cryptographically signed transactions. So it's like cryptocurrency, cryptographically signed currency. So it's verified via algorithms which obviously verify these transactions via different nodes. Okay, so there's that also. I didn't explain that very well, but you know what I mean. Cryptocurrency is crypto, okay? But blockchain, it's a bit of a different thing. It's not necessarily just Bitcoin, just Ethereum, just Solana. It's a system. It's a system of verification, basically, which we can see here. So as I was about to go on to my point, which obviously we have now been confirmed, this is a node system. So basically, it's got 27 different computers in different countries, which basically every single computer this computer, it sends out this information, okay, with the transaction, with this, with that, with the other, okay, and each computer individually goes, okay, this looks accurate, this time signature looks accurate, the transaction ID looks correct. And what is a transaction ID? It is a basically, it's not just like a random string. It is a collection of different data points which have been algorithmically smushed together, basically. Okay, so it's like, okay, this transaction ID looks correct. The ID, this is correct via what I have currently. Obviously, we've got the information. We'll save that and then the information, whatever, cool. But basically, that is basically what a transaction is, saved. So each and every computer, 27 computers, they all do that individually, and they all talk to each other. Go, okay, is this correct? Is this correct? Cool. We are all in unison. And then once they're all correct, it gets saved. Then that is set in stone. That is a transaction which has occurred. That is a true transaction which has a identification to it, has documents to it, has data to it, which has existence in the universe, whatever. So in terms of blockchain, it's more so of a system of confirmation of data and storing of that data, basically. Anyway, I'm yapping right now. This is just the history of blockchain. I really don't care. I don't care. Basically, the main point is they are currently using, as we see right now, live blockchain technology to confirm and identify transactions and votes. You can see it was mempool. It's not meme pool. I did actually misread it just right now. So mempool, basically, as I was talking about right now. So okay, this is what we look at. So basically, this is a transaction. So yeah, let's wait. Okay, let's watch. We can watch right now. What is the mempool? As I just said, all 27 computers all have to confirm the data is true, and then it gets saved. So the mempool is basically a memory pool. Again, I'm yapping a bit here, but basically, a transaction which hasn't been fully confirmed yet gets put in the memory pool, and then once it has been confirmed by all computers, it then gets put on as a block on the chain of blocks. You can see these transactions. Let's try and look at a type quickly, or an ID even. So if we wait for one to come through, someone to vote. Okay. So you can see. Okay, well, I didn't get a chance to read that one because it's pretty fast. So let's just give it a moment. So F, here we go, F. So it had F in it, 8, 6, 9. Just wait for it. Okay, we're probably gonna see one here. Okay. I could be yapping here. Actually, those are our signatures. There's private information. So free one. I want to see if we can see one live. I don't think we are because again, that's private information. This is not related to that. Okay, let's just click a random one though. Oh, this isn't what we need. Here we go. Here we go. So you can see, block, here we go. So yeah, so we're seeing live here. Yeah, here we go, A3, CA. Okay, cool. So there we go. So this is a collection of transactions that happened on the block. So we just saw live then. I just wanted to see quickly. I thought it'd be pretty cool. We just saw this one, for example. We just saw it go into the mempool and be voted. And then during that period of time between the block getting written, or the values getting written to the block, and just now seeing the value go through, we just saw 27 different computers all confirm that transaction, and then it gets stored on the blockchain. So pretty cool. We know. Anyway, I think I've yapped and spent enough time talking. I think I can now go through these last two articles, in due time. Okay, I can go. I normally get time. Let's go pretty fast. Okay. So anyway, this will be quick. Again, I'm going to talk pretty quickly. It's not anything too long. Okay, I'm going to talk pretty quickly about this. So Bitcoin open interest reaches record high amid price surge. What is open interest? That is basically the current amount of the volume, activity on a coin. Okay, it's not exactly a value. I don't think it's an exact value. I'm pretty sure it's just how much is being leveraged right now. Not leveraged because you have to figure that out. It basically how much is being open interest. It's basically how much is being put into, whether it be short or long, in a coin. Okay, that's all it is. I'm not I'm not a scientist. Okay, whatever. According to you today, Bitcoin's open interest has reached an unprecedented $70 billion. Exactly, it's a value. Okay, marking a new peak in derivatives activity. This surge in open interest suggests heightened market activity, with traders preparing for significant price movements. The increase in open interest is reflected in Bitcoin's rise tonight. Okay, whatever. Here we go. As futures traders place bets on both upward and downward price trends. So again, open interest, it's a valuation of how much is being put in future trade. I don't think it gives you the leverage value. It's basically the value in which there's longs and shorts on the coin. So in this case, Bitcoin. So this level of interest typically indicates increased speculative activity, which could lead to greater volatility, although it may also signal confidence in Bitcoin's momentum. I'm not going to read this. I'm going to talk via my chest, via my mind, okay? Because I know, again, this isn't. I'm going to talk about it, whatever. Basically, the summary is, in my opinion, and whatever, open interest is really high. What does this mean? There's a lot of longs and shorts being open. So what does that mean then? Well, that means there's areas where either there's stop losses and take profits, we're talking about liquidations here because that's where the money gets put into the market. Okay, so let's talk about stop losses. So that's where stop losses and liquidations are. Okay, but again, technically, what is a liquidation? It is technically a stop loss at 100%. So technically, it's just where the stop losses are. But you know what I'm saying. It's not exactly that, but basically where all the stops are. I didn't want to say stop loss because that's one thing. It's basically where all the get outs are, where all the liquidations are in the market. Okay, so we have tons of different areas, different prices, depending on where people got in, depending on what leverage they're using, depending on what, if they've set a stop loss or not. Basically, we've got a ton of different areas. In theory, again, this is where I like to see cumulative volume delta, because that kind of shows whether in theory the open interest is positive or negative. So in a theory, if open interest, if cumulative volume delta was negative and it was going down, which means there was more sell, more sell over that period of time rather than buy. Then in theory, if open interest is going up and there's a lot more sells, basically, then in theory it's going to be more shorts. But again, I'm not going to talk about what it actually means. Let's talk about what it relates to Bitcoin. So what does this mean? Currently, right now, and again, I don't think there's been liquidations as we see it right now. There's going to be a lot of liquidation prices right now, whether it be above us or below us, depending on what open interest is. Okay. So, but in my theory, I'm going to probably guess to say if Bitcoin's going up as crazy as it is, and we're already seeing nearly 100k or whatever, or right now we're like 98, 99k. Where do we reckon open interest is going to be? Or where do we reckon the stop losses are going to be? I would wager a guess to say they're going to be below us, okay? Due to the fact that, again, we're going up so high. Unless, you know what, I'm not going to speculate, because maybe people are thinking, okay, we've gone up a bit too much now, let's short, because I think it's going to go down, and the stop losses are going to be above us, and then we're going to surge them. But again, I'm just going to analyze what this means for crypto, okay? Or what this means for Bitcoin. If we hit one of these areas, okay, let's say there's multiple different levels of multiple different prices. Or, okay, let's say one price. Let's say 90k, okay? 90k. Let's say everyone got in at 90k. This doesn't necessarily mean every single stop loss is going to be at 85k. We're going to have a range between 88k all the way towards, 80k, let's say. 88 to 80, in theory. Let's just guess, okay? I'm not going to do the math in my head. Why is this? Well, we have different leverage values. We've got 5x to 100x, even 200x in some values. That could be, whatever it's going to be for Bitcoin. So if we've got 100x, that's going to be really close, 89k, 80k area, whatever it's going to be, 87. But as we go lesser in leverage, it's going to have a larger stop loss, because obviously you're borrowing less money, if you will. So this could, mean we could have cascading liquidations. So it's more of a thing where we've got extremely high open interest. Okay, something we haven't seen in a while, which if we do hit one of these liquidations at a significant amount of value of liquidations, and then that brings the price down, and we don't hit another liquidation area, obviously that's good. If we hit another liquidation area, that is going to be boom, then boom, then boom, aka cascading liquidations. So I just wanted to point that out for you guys. Again, we don't have much data. These are just random values. We don't have any data, okay? Higher open interest suggests increasing trade volume and liquidity, which are crucial for staying price movements. Excessive leverage positions could lead to abrupt corrections due to cascading liquidations. Again, we don't have the data in theory. We can guess based on volume. We don't in theory have the data which tells us if it's longs or shorts. So it could be longs, okay, and we do come down. Or, better yet, it could be shorts, every single person shorting. We surge up, we get out, they're buying back. Because again, when you sell and then you get out on the opposite end of things, you have to buy it back, okay? So when you're selling, all right, you buy, so you have to sell at that area. So you've bought it, but then it has to come back into the market because you've sold it. So obviously that's why it cascades, because there's more Bitcoin being put back into the market, more and more, which means there's more versus the dollar, let's say, whatever, which means if there's more volume, if there's more to be had, it's not as scarce, which means obviously the price goes down. So if you just keep on hitting each and every level where more and more Bitcoin go back into the market and not being held, you just have more and more liquidation, which means more and more sell, okay? But again, like I said, to summarize before I move on to the last article before we do the outro, if we have it on the positive end where there's a bunch of shorts, people have to buy back, which means even more Bitcoin gets taken out. In theory, Bitcoin's not, it's, because again, leverage, it's kind of held within the exchange. So it's not necessarily being directly, put back in per futures trade. Because again, to futures trade, you have to have someone else. You have to have someone else to do the opposite. So it's not necessarily going back into the market, being held publicly on an exchange. It's being traded within two persons. Okay, so you've got someone selling and someone else has to buy. So it's basically being switched in between two people. It's not necessarily coming back into exchanges. So it's not necessarily a scenario where Bitcoin's getting directly put back into the market, but it's still negative volume activity, which is going to affect Bitcoin. So yeah, it's not like I said, if we have a bunch of sells and we do go up to, and the whales, the market makers are, they're going to go up to get these liquidations, and then we're going to go up more. Yeah, we're going to pump hard, okay? Because again, like I said, this is a unprecedented 70 billion, making a new peak in derivatives activity. This is a really high scenario for open interest. Okay, this is really high value. So it's not like we're moving as normal. Okay, we're just going up. Oh yeah, because it's going up, we're just doing normal. This is one of the not one of the highest. Again, I'm not too sure on the value, but as of late, this is one of the highest value we've seen for open interest. Which again, like I said, it gives more. It's not more of a thing where it's like, oh, we might see negativity. What do market makers look for? They look for the highest valued liquidation points. Okay, so again, if it's near enough a 50-50, let's say in theory, if it's a 50-50 between buy and sell, then yeah, cool. Yeah, we might not see cascading liquidations. We might not even see a massive push down to liquidations because of the fact that it's not really equal. Because either way we go, we're going to see liquidations. But let's think about the scenario we're in for Bitcoin. We're in a scenario where we've constantly been going up. Well, not really right now, obviously we're hovering at the 100k area, but we've been pumping massively, and now we're seeing massive open interest. In theory, I don't think we're going to see a lot. Again, there's probably a lot of uncertainty, but I think a lot of people are going to be one-sided. I don't know that side because I'm not everybody, but I think, because I could very well see people going, we're really high right now and everyone's trying to sell. I could also very well see, maybe stupidly or not, people going, we're really high right now, we've been going up so much, this is the bull run, everyone buy. This isn't over, we can carry on buying. So I can see two polar opposites. Yeah, I can see a middle, but I think, in my opinion, it's going to be more so either everyone's buying or everyone's selling. Cumulatively. So that, in theory, means to me that we're probably most likely going to see one of these big liquidations. So we're either going to see a massive move down or a massive move up. In theory. Last article, I do need to end the stream. Okay. Again, we're 5 minutes over, and again, like I said, I'm always going to be slightly late. Okay, even when I try, I'm going to always be slightly late. So let's quickly read this. Okay, 2 minutes to read. Here we go, perfect. Highly anticipated. Also, I like the title. Saul Goodman. If you don't know what it means, Breaking Bad. Saul Goodman. Saul Goodman, right? Yeah, Saul Goodman, right? Yeah. It's a play on words of it's all good, man. Okay, because he's a lawyer. Okay, so I thought I'd do Saul Goodman. You know what I'm saying? Saul Goodman. Because we've been waiting for this. You know what I'm saying? Whatever. Let's move on. Highly anticipated spot Solana ETFs will be approved in 2025. Key points. Let's go with key points and then just whatever. Major asset managers, including VanEck, Bitwise, and 21 Shares, have filed applications for spot Solana ETFs. Industry experts predict spot Solana ETFs may gain approval by late 2025, buoyed by a crypto-friendly administration. What is going to happen in 2025? Bull run. Beautiful. Okay, so Solana's going to have its pump, November 25, boom, spot Solana ETF approval, boom, pump again. So if I was to get into a coin with massive potential, it's Solana. Buy your Bitcoin, buy Ethereum, please buy your Solana. There you go. Okay. So late 2025, we've already got filings. They're reckoned to prove by late 2025, which is obviously nearing the end of the... So let's say, I mean, again, let's think about the scenario for Solana. Late 2025, let's just say that's, November, December, October time. What do we think the top's going to be for the bull run? November time. So what's it going to be? Propulsion all the way up to wherever we're going to see. Let's say, in theory, the high for Solana at November. But then what are we going to see? Solana ETF. Pump. Obviously, we're going to pump till then. We might dump because obviously bad rumors on news. But pump. Dump, but relative to where we've done, but based on the bull run, not really dumping that much. Solana ETF, more money being put in. Solana pumps more. There you go. Solana, here we go. $1,000 Solana, here we go. No, I'm joking. I would wish I wasn't joking there. Anyway, whatever. I'm yapping. Let's I just want to see if there's anything interesting in this article. I don't think so. Here we go. The actual professional, Nate Garassi. I believe it's highly likely that Solana ETFs will be approved by the end of next year at the latest. Okay, so it could be during the year. So, it could be nice maybe during, middle of the year when we're hovering a bit and then we continue to go upwards. I don't know. This could mean then, in theory, this could mean a higher price predicted for Solana's top, depending on whether they get accepted, depending on how we respond to the news, depending on how quickly money gets put into these, because again, it's going to mean massive institutional buying for Solana. Which is going to be pretty good for Solana's sake. So, yeah. I just want to see what this is. Okay, well, yeah, whatever. Yeah, cool. It could happen, it could not happen. Well, they've filed for it. Let's see what happens. This is pretty good. This is going to be massive for Solana. Okay, so if you're thinking, let's say, you're thinking, I think Solana's going to hit this amount, that, the other dollars. Add a bit more money onto that, because this could be pretty good, depending on when it gets added. So, let's see what happens. I'm pretty excited. Thank you guys so much for watching. I know I'm 7 minutes over, but it's to be expected, okay? So, I know it's Monday, and I normally do my training streams. I have done the morning stream. I do need to make a video, but I do other things as well. But might stream at 9 p.m. Also, I did mess up one of the streams, because they weren't streaming. So, yeah. So, whatever. Anyway. I might be back at 9 p.m. YouTube plus 1, I believe it is, for where I am. So it could be I'm streaming, it could be that I'm not streaming. What I will do though, billion dollar cats, I think it was. I will I'll cover that. Either that be what the hell is that? Either that will be some I post on Telegram in the training area, and you look at it and whatever, or I will cover it, in the last 10 minutes I have on my trading stream after I've looked at Bitcoin for 50 minutes. So either way, you will get the $1 billion cats. Okay, but don't worry. I get any coins. Okay, got any coins you want me to cover? I wouldn't urge you to put many coins because I do spend a lot of time on Bitcoin. But if I do a stream, I'll try and do it. If not. So anyways, thank you guys so much for watching. Hope it's been a good stream. Again, like I said, for the foreseeable future, I will be doing these streams, the morning streams anyway. So if you didn't like it, not much we can really do about that. If you did like it, then brilliant. Hopefully I could, hopefully I kept it similarly feeling to how Mike always does it. Also, I know I do have a smoother camera, maybe a more evened mic when it comes to, the bass and the high end. I know the wireless mics, it doesn't pick up anything on the lower end. It literally is a horrible mic. It's not a bad mic, but I'm saying. Whatever. Hopefully it's enjoyable. I enjoyed my time. I think it was pretty good. I think we did a nice, well-rounded stream. I don't remember the last time he did a morning stream. I don't know. I don't think it was that long ago. Because again, we did go. I don't think he did anything. I think we left. When did we leave? Was it? It might have been the start of this week. So obviously we've missed a decent proportion of stuff. Obviously I think it was a decent, well-rounded. So hopefully there's enough news to cover for tomorrow. I will be doing another morning stream tomorrow. Because obviously, it's the morning streams. I'm here now. So thank you guys so much for watching. I might be back at 9 p.m. If not, I'll post in the Telegram some charts on, especially $1 billion cats and other charts, maybe Bitcoin as well. Because I need to look at Bitcoin. I haven't looked at Bitcoin in a while. So thank you guys so much for watching. I really appreciate it. I'll be back later, if not tomorrow. Shout out to you guys. Join Telegram. Look at the description. Useful links. And yeah, thank you guys so much for watching. See you next time. Goodbye.